What if I told you there's a country that's been a stable, democratic republic for over 30 years, yet most of the world doesn't officially recognize it? That's the story of Somaliland, a self-declared state in the Horn of Africa. And today, we're diving into a fascinating question: what would it take for Israel to formally recognize Somaliland? First, let's get the lay of the land. Somaliland declared independence from Somalia in 1991 after a brutal civil war. Since then, it has built its own government, held democratic elections, and maintained remarkable peace and stability in a notoriously volatile region. It has its own currency, its own military, and a government that actually functions. Yet, for the international community, it's still technically part of Somalia. So, where does Israel fit into this picture? The connection might seem random, but it's rooted in deep strategic interests. Let's break down the potential reasons why this recognition could happen. The number one reason is geopolitics and strategic location. Look at a map. Somaliland sits on the Gulf of Aden, right next to the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. This is one of the world's most critical maritime choke points. A huge chunk of global trade, especially oil, passes through here on its way to and from the Suez Canal. For Israel, having a friendly partner in this strategic location would be a massive security and economic win. It would provide a foothold in a region where rivals like Iran are trying to expand their influence. An alliance with Somaliland could offer intelligence sharing and a potential military presence to safeguard these vital shipping lanes. Secondly, let's talk about shared values and history. Both Israel and Somaliland are nations that emerged from conflict, striving to build democratic societies in challenging neighborhoods. Somaliland's commitment to democracy and its successful track record of peaceful governance stand in stark contrast to many of its neighbors. This ideological alignment is a powerful argument. Proponents of recognition often highlight that supporting a functioning democracy like Somaliland aligns with Israel's own identity and foreign policy. Why goals of promoting stability? Then there's the economic angle. Somaliland is rich in untapped potential. It has potential for oil and gas reserves, valuable minerals, and a growing livestock trade. Its port of Berbera, currently being expanded by UAE-based DP World, is set to become a major commercial hub for East Africa, especially for landlocked Ethiopia. Israeli companies, known for their expertise in technology, agriculture, water management, and security, could find immense opportunities here. Investing in Somaliland's development would not only be profitable but would also strengthen the bilateral relationship from the ground up. Now, let's consider the diplomatic domino effect. If a country like Israel, with its significant global influence, were to recognize Somaliland, it could trigger a chain reaction. Other nations, particularly in the West, might follow suit. Israel has a history of making bold foreign policy moves, sometimes ahead of its allies. Think of its relationships established through the Abraham Accords. Recognizing Somaliland could be another such pioneering step, reshaping the diplomatic landscape of the Horn of Africa. Of course, there are major obstacles. Recognizing Somaliland would mean defying the African Union, which has a strict policy against altering colonial-era borders. It would also certainly anger Somalia, which vehemently claims Somaliland as its own territory. This could complicate Israel's relations with other African and Arab nations. It's a delicate balancing act. Any decision would have to weigh the strategic gains against the potential diplomatic fallout. So, what's the verdict? For Israel to recognize Somaliland, the strategic benefits would have to clearly outweigh the diplomatic risks. A shift might happen if the geopolitical situation in the Red Sea becomes more unstable, making a reliable partner like Somaliland indispensable, or if a powerful ally, like the United States, signals its quiet approval. The relationship is already warming. There have been unofficial contacts and positive statements from officials on both sides for years. While formal recognition hasn't happened yet, the groundwork is being laid. The question is not so much if, but when and under what circumstances the strategic calculation will tip in favor of this historic move. It's a development we should all be watching closely. What do you think? Should Israel recognize Somaliland? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you found this interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into global politics.